Hello and welcome to Fintech Today. I'm Matt Hyde, the founder of Fintech Awards London, and welcome to this year's awards. It's great to have our next guest. Everybody knows him, but just in case you don't, maybe you could introduce yourself.
Will do indeed. My name is Mark Walker. I'm the CEO and editorial director of the Fintech Times.
So Mark, it's great to have you with us. Let's be honest, we've worked together for 4 or 5 years or more. I think going back to Fintech Awards Wales year 1, when you were a guest judge and have been there, and you've also done here and the Southwest Awards. I suppose the question I have to ask, why?
So the reason we really support these awards and why we've been doing it for so long is these awards are actually really different. You know, they're organised very differently to a lot of the other awards. The fact that we actually are here in person, meeting people, bringing them through to an actual judging panel in real life is really different. And it really gives the people that are actually nominated and shortlisted an opportunity to not just pitch their product or their service, but actually meet the judges. You know, actually getting that connection, I believe, is actually probably almost as beneficial as winning the award. And that's really why we want to be involved in this. And that's why we're here doing video interviews, because we need everybody to know this is the process that these awards go through.
I would agree. I think it's a fantastic way to meet people, get to know people. It's not easy. We think of over 200 entries every year. To get that down to 86, 87. Already, I think if you're a finalist, then well done. You sat on the judging panel. How do you find that as a person sitting there judging with everybody else? What do you get from that?
Well, I think that it gives you kind of like the real story. You know, there's only so much you can glean for something written on a piece of paper. And let's be honest, most of those applications are probably written by marketing people doing a great job of explaining very well what the product does. But you're not hearing from the founder or the CEO or the C-suite about why. And the passion and the real reason that actually started these businesses. And I think that comes across much more when you're on the judging panel. Also, the fact that you get to ask your questions to a person of knowledge is very rewarding as well, because you can glean more information and really understand a little bit more about what they're all about.
Great answer, and I would obviously totally agree with you. So the Fintech Times, just if people don't subscribe, I'm sure everyone does, but if they don't, why subscribe to the Fintech Times?
Well, I think the Fintech Times, we've always set out to try and be the true voice of the industry. So all of our content is written by actual journalists, not AI bots, not yet anyway. And it's all about actually what's going on in the industry for the industry. With a lot of our opinion-based pieces and guest contributing editors, etc., we really publish sort of 10, 14 stories a day about what's going on globally within the fintech world. And I think we do a typical journalist approach of we present information to the readers. We're not telling the readers what to think. We're presenting them what's going on for the reader to make their own decisions.
So thinking of London, obviously these awards, Fintech Awards London, is London still the fintech capital of the world?
Well, as a Londoner, obviously I'm going to have to say yes. But I actually do truly believe that London is deserving of that first-class space of being the leader of fintech. Nowhere else in the world does the actual essence of an ecosystem exist in the same way, where you've got a regulator, lots of investment, lots of talent, all within a 30-minute tube ride. And even if you compare to, you know, a New York or to a Dubai even, that just doesn't exist in the same way. And as a result, that's really encouraged the ecosystem. So we're still leading the way. Now, you could argue that the danger of being a leader is that someone's always chasing you. And I think there are other areas that I've just mentioned before, other cities that are really making some amazing progress forwards. So we can't stay still. We need to keep moving forwards as well. And some of the things that people like Innovate Finance have been doing with the recent Global Summit and some of the announcements are really having a major effect on that.
So what do we need to do then to keep, in a sense, our fintech crown as the number one capital of the world then, would you say?
I think we just need to keep pushing. We cannot wait and think, okay, we're the leader, let's just wait for a bit. You know, organisations such as Innovate Finance still need to keep lobbying the government. The government, Department for Business and Trade need to be lobbying people, making sure all of those conditions that I mentioned before stay where they are meant to be to keep encouraging fintech innovation and growth.
Great. Well, look, as always, wonderful to spend some time with you. We look forward to the series of interviews coming out in the Fintech Times through the rest of the year. And obviously look forward to June the 18th.
Absolutely. It's always the pinnacle of my year.